Yes, guys, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. What have we got in store for you guys today? This is Friday the 11th. We are currently 1 day away from being 2 weeks out. Tomorrow, on Saturday, we'll be 2 weeks out. And I am feeling pretty good. I am on my way through to Cumbernauld, to Limitless Fitness, to train a big ass meaty pool session today, guys. I'm going to be taking the DJI along for the journey. I'm going to be showing you guys all of the useful and top-notch equipment that we've got available to us at Limitless in Cumbernauld, and then I will be taking you through the full pool session. Decent little bit of volume today, 2 sets on most exercises, 3 sets on a couple. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hitting that one in Limitless for sure. I was doing some content in there a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, on the first time that I'd visited, and it was actually the back section that he took me through. It was the back section that I actually went through, done a few tutorials on certain bits of kit. We've got the Nautilus seated row, we've got the Nautilus pull down, we have a couple of prime bits of kit as well. Got quite a lot of bits of kit in there that I'm really looking forward to using. I was only able to do the tutorials last time I was there. I wasn't actually able to train. Be like a little kid in a sweet shop this afternoon. Looking forward to getting stuck in about it, taking you guys through it. Tomorrow we will be bouncing back on through to Cumbernauld again, and we'll be doing legs. So it's the Romanian deadlift session, the one where I do 3 sets of hamstring curl, 2 sets Romanian deadlifts, then a bit shoulders and arms to finish off. So that'll be a good one for the old YT as well. Tomorrow we will be recording an absolute ton of footage for the gym. The reason why we're not doing the usual 10 reels today and 10 reels tomorrow is because the camera guy is not available today. So we're going to have to just utilise them tomorrow and go through the full shebang. So it'll be a busy ass day. So today we'll get a little bit more content for the YT. Tomorrow it will be more about the Instagram reels and stuff. But I will still take you along with the DJI in the back seat for a little bit of giggles and behind the scenes action. A little bit update on me. I have literally just managed to pump out the 9 week challenge today to everybody who's taking part and who's got involved. It starts on Monday. That is the workload for that done and dusted and completed, which means that now, hopefully, we have a little bit less stress, a little bit less work, and a little bit more plain sailing as we move towards the final 13-14 days before the first showing of the season. I am feeling good. I'm feeling pretty lean. Energy levels are starting to get a little bit lower, but it is what it is. It's 2 weeks out and I'm only just starting to really feel the pinch. I mean, if you can get through the whole prep and get all the way to just 2 weeks out before you actually start to feel preppy, you must be doing something right, guys. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. Every single bit of priming work for your competition prep is literally done in your off season. If you can follow your off season, now off season, guys, a lot of people think it's just time to down tools, take a step back, you know, start eating absolute rubbish that they would never normally eat, doing things they would never normally do, drinking alcohol, etc, etc. If that's you, then yeah, you'll enjoy your off season, but you'll also have a shitty prep. You'll start in a much fatter position, you'll have more fat to pull off, you'll have more work to do, you'll have a lower calorie start point, etc, etc. Now, if you can get your calories built up to a decent level, to the point where you're pretty much force feeding, but body composition is actually still really good because you have reversed slowly, then by the time it gets to prep and you have your first food reduction, you'll welcome it with open arms and you'll get leaner very quickly. Again, that's what I've noticed this time. My off season was very calculated. In fact, nothing even changed from last prep except the amount of food. That's literally it. And I've done that for the whole year. And this prep has been the easiest and the most plain sailing prep I've ever had. So hopefully we can tick off a few big goals this season. But yeah, regardless of the result, before we even get started, I am looking forward to it. I'm buzzing actually, I'm really buzzing. It's always a nice time of the year when competition season is looming. It's very exciting when this is what you love. Stay tuned, guys, I will take you through my pool session. Hopefully you'll find a good bit of value. Hope you have a great time watching along. Let's crack on, let's get started. And I will update you guys when we get into the gym. Speak soon, guys. We are here, back at the Mecca of the Central Belt. So guys, if you are local to Cumbernauld, Glasgow area, anywhere through here actually, this is the place for you to be. Actually, it's not, because Stirling's only 15 minutes away, so you're spoiled for choice. Ideally you want to be situated right in the centre of the two, but let's have a wee look. Hello! Nice friendly staff. We have Katie over here. How you doing, Katie? Good. Not bad at all. I'm just going to go and touch on the mezz level. James was saying the mezz level. So guys, in case you are never been in Limitless in Cumbernauld, right? This is what we've got to work with. As you can see, big ass playground for anybody who's into fitness. But the part I'm wanting to show you first is the mezz level. This has been getting built the whole time since I've been visiting for the last month or so. And the owner, James, has actually told me to cover a little bit of this on the YouTube today. Katie, can you get up there? No?
You can.
I can. Nobody else can. Okay, so we can. We can get up here. Let's have a wee look. Now, obviously it's not quite finished yet. It is barriered off here, but I will hold on to the handrail. This little mezz level, guys, is going to be for anybody who's into functional fitness / CrossFit, sled pushing. There is as well, up here, going to be fitness classes. It's actually quite massive, to be honest. It's like a third of the size of the gym. It's basically just creating another level up here for us to move a couple of these leg machines from down here, move the Astro, move a couple of the functional fitness rowers, spin bikes. There is going to be a spin class happening up here. There's going to be new classes up here. There's going to be a lot of new instructors up here. A lot of fitness classes, I'm led to believe. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there is going to be an absolute ton of variety up here. So guys, again, one of the best gyms in the Central Belt. I'm not going to say the best because we do have Stirling just 10 minutes away. But as I keep saying, one of the best gyms in the Central Belt, literally just getting better and better and better every single week. Buzzing to be a part of it, guys. If functional fitness, CrossFit, high rocks, any of that stuff is your bag, then you want to be jumping on down here to Limitless in Cumbernauld. You want to be using my code AO20 because it was me that showed you about this area. You want to be coming in, saving 20% on your membership and supporting your big man. So that's the mezz level covered. Let's go and get stuck in about the session. Different day, same shit. 2 weeks tomorrow. We can't be taking any chances. Now, thank you to Mr. Greg Williams. Yes, I am name dropping one of my clients who pointed me in the direction of this roll-on. The good thing about the roll-on, guys, for anybody who uses deep heat, is it doesn't come with the same chokiness or the same sting as the spray, but it does come with the same heat and less mess as the cream. Quite a good little combination getting in about the roll-on. Less mess, less sting, less choke. Very efficient, and it gets in. It gets the tissue warmed up, ready for me to start training without me having to overcompensate with the warming up. Allows me to get in, get dusted, and get back out, guys, pain-free. So that is something that's going to be staying in. We do have some new lift straps today, courtesy of Lift Official on Instagram. They look very, very sturdy. They look very good quality. They've got the nice little, if you're a pussy like me, they've got the nice little padded wrist guard, so that when you're pulling 300,000 kilos on one single arm pull down, like what I do, you can't dig the straps too far into your wrist that it causes that much pain. Not only that, guys, but we also have on the other side of the wraps, on the side that's actually going to be going on the bar, we've got these little non-slip grippy substances, which again, attention to detail, all the little things make a big, big difference when you're training. And guys like me, who are pretty advanced trainers, will be able to confirm that. So let's go and test them out. As you can see, the back section has plenty of choice, but as always, we're going to start off with a couple of sets of hanging leg raises, get some blood into the midsection, get some tension through the core, get activated and get ready to work. First up on the agenda today is the Unilateral seated row. Going to be doing this unilaterally, as I always say. If you can work unilaterally, which means one arm at a time, then you're always going to be better to do so, in my opinion, because you'll be able to put one, more attention into the one side, get a better connection, and two, you can actually put a bit more effort into the one side as well. It can help you bring up any uneven discrepancies within your physique. Oof. 13. I'm still very much in the realms of not taking any reps beyond failure. That one there, that last one, that 13th one, probably would have tried to get a 14th one usually, but not this week. 2 weeks out, guys, so we don't really have margin for error in terms of fatigue and pushing sets too far, because when you are lean like this, you just can't recover. You just can't recover from too much stimulus. Volume's been pulled down, as I already said in my previous YouTube show. Again, until after the shows now, we won't be taking anything beyond failure. It's just straight cut reps until I feel like the next one's going to be touch and go. And then another thing that I just want to touch on here as well, guys, when you are in a gym like this and you're absolutely spoiled for choice, my next exercise is a single arm cable pull down, usually lat bias. That means elbow in front of the body, arm path in front of the body, elbow directly into hip, keeping the shoulder driven down. Now, obviously there is a big massive selection of kit here, so I'm not going to use a cable, I'm going to use a pull down machine. We've got the hammer strength pull down here. We've got the Citadel pull down here, which is actually really lovely. We also have the Panata pull down here. This one doesn't have a make on it, but it looks very like the plate loaded Nautilus. And then we've got a pin loaded Nautilus here. Now, I have tried all 5 machines. This one seems to be connecting with my lats much nicer today, so this is the one that we are going to be using. That is something that I would always say, guys, if you are not struggled, but spoiled for choice, and there's an awful lot of equipment and you're unsure which one to use or which one's going to suit you best, there isn't really a golden rule for it. Just because there's a certain make doesn't mean it's going to be a better machine. Each machine will sit a little bit different with your body and your physique, and they'll work differently on every person as well. What I done is I literally just put a 10 or a 20 kilo on every single machine, and I've done a few reps on each one. See which one suits the best, which one hits the best, which one feels the best. In this instance, the Nautilus Nitro lat pull down, pin loaded, the one that's getting chosen today. We do have 2 sets on this one, and the rep range is 8 to 12. So I'm going to take this weight for an actual spin, and let's see how we get on. This machine does seem to overload in the shortened range, so it doesn't feel overly heavy here, but then as you pull down into the hole, it does. Woo. So we got the 12, which is good. I'm going to keep that weight though, and we'll be doing the next set between 8 and 12 as well with that same loading. Chances are I'm not going to get the 12 the next set, but I might be able to get the 8s. This machine feels really good, really good. Now, when we're getting set up in a machine like this for a single arm pull down, key factors you want to remember here during the setup phase is that you want to have your sternum braced above your pelvis, so you have to have a completely neutral spine. Once you've done that, use your opposing arm to brace somewhere so that your torso doesn't rotate. You want to externally rotate your upper arm a slight bit, point your bicep up to the sky a little bit, drop the shoulder a little bit. You'll feel your lat engage there. And then from there, keep your shoulder down and just drive the elbow hard into the hip. Top set of chest supported T-bar has just been completed. And yes, you guessed it right. Again, dipstick here forgot to turn the microphone on. So we missed it all. Now you're going to get to see my back offset. And this is quite a humbling machine. So I'm going to be removing this 10 kilogram plate. If you've been watching along and following on the YouTube, guys, then you'll know that the last 2 exercises that I just completed, the single arm row and the single arm pull down, are biased towards which part of my back? Yes, you guessed it right, guys. The latissimus dorsi, so the lats, is essentially what we've just smashed. So now we're moving on to a couple of exercises that are a bit more upper back biased. First one is the T-bar. that you just missed the top set on, but you're about to catch the back off set on. And then the next one is going to be a seated row variation of some machine, whatever we want to fancy. Essentially, when we're trying to target the upper back, the goal from here is just to open and close your scapula as much as you can. So that's shoulder blades, guys, all right? So one thing that I like to always tell my clients is when we're trying to protract at the shoulder to stretch the upper back as much as we can, you want to just imagine that you're trying to cover your pecs with your shoulder. So you take a full stretch to here and then even more to here. That's protraction. Moving your shoulders forward like you're trying to cover your pecs. Once you've got in that position, you just want to pull back and then retract. The way I try and explain that to my clients is, imagine you're trying to squeeze a wee pencil in between your shoulder blades at the back, and then nice and stretch out, protract, and then pull back again. And that's just the way to get your upper back to open as much as it can, and then close as much as it can. And with that, you'll get the most recruitment from your upper back musculature, thus more damage, thus more muscle built. And like I said in the previous video that you never caught, because dipshit here never pressed record on the mic, this machine in particular, I've just found that while standing on the base as low as it can possibly go, I'm still too high. So instead of being chest supported, it's more stomach supported. One, it's not comfy. Two, it doesn't help in the slightest. What I am going to do is I'm going to just take my feet off the pad, I'm going to adapt, I'm going to overcome. I'm going to stand on the floor. And then that, when I lean forward, has me perfectly chest supported. The whole point in the chest support, guys, is literally one, to remove momentum, two, to stop you swaying back and forth, essentially shortening the range of motion of the muscle, and three, just to give you a solid anchor point, a solid brace point to actually pull against. If you can remember, one of the cues that I would like to get you all focusing on here, guys, is as you go to pull back, instead of pulling your whole body back off the actual pad and shortening that range, push your chest forward onto the pad hard. And it's not, you're not always going to have the best seated position here, but if you can think about forcing your chest forward as you pull back, you will get a better connection with your back, guys. 8 to 12 reps, let's go. So we now move into machine seated row. At home, this one usually is a cable row, an upper back biased seated cable row. But because I am here in Limitless and we've got choice of many machines, I am choosing to use a machine. Now, this may come to a little bit of a surprise to everybody here, but the machine I've chosen for my upper back by seated row is a Primal machine, Primal Strength. And like I say, I tried every machine, and this one is the one I'm feeling the best today. So this exercise in particular, I usually seat myself on bumper blocks. So you know what that is, it's like the plates, the thick plates that you use for deadlifting. Basically, I sit on two of those, which elevates my position slightly so that as I pull, I can pull down and in, which actually hits a little bit more lat, and it also tags along the upper back, but it's just a slightly different angle. It's more like a low row. Here we've actually got a machine that kind of mimics that movement with lots of different handles. So I'm going to hold the bottom handles this time, and I'm going to pull down and under. I'm already warmed up here, I'm already primed and ready to go. Just moving into the top set now. Primal Strength isn't usually my first choice, guys, but that one feels really good. So this one here will be my first choice every time I'm in this gym. That is the direct back work for the day done and dusted. Moving into a little bit of rear delts now. 2 sets on rear delts, and then we've got 5 sets on biceps. And then that's us. Now, in my home variation here, I do have a reverse pec deck. But again, like I say, making use of the good equipment, interchanging out exercises that I know I can do. We've got a gentleman here on the pec deck at the moment, so instead of waiting on him, I'm just going to crack on with the cables and do a reverse cable fly. So a couple of things we want to remember here. When we're doing a reverse cable fly, ideally we want to work in a range from slightly higher to slightly lower to make sure that we get full recruitment from the rear delts. The rear delts aren't big muscles, guys, okay, and the main and primary function of the rear delt is to adduct the arm out to the side. That's it. The pec's function is to pull the arm across. The rear delt's function is the complete opposite, to pull the arm back. When we're trying to train the rear delts, we want to just mimic that movement with loading. I don't want to see anybody doing this because, as I've just said, the direct back work is already done. So now it's just rear delts, which means just out to the side is really all we want to do. Your upper back is a really large muscle group, and if you allow it to take over from your delts, it will do so. Be super careful, super mindful, super strict and coordinated. Get your arms up just above eye height, shoulders forward slightly, and then from here, literally out to the side, leading from the elbows, not the fists. Feeling good today. I'm feeling good. Well, good for 2 weeks out anyway. It has been a very productive pull session today. I've enjoyed training through here and utilising all of the fantastic pieces of kit. I was going to say equipment and kit at the same time. Now we're moving on to biceps. Because my biceps are so f***ing good, I don't have to do an awful lot. Kidding. I've got biceps every day almost. Got biceps on pull day, biceps on push day. Used to have biceps on leg day, but they've been removed since I wasn't able to recover from biceps every day. However, we're going to get cracking on it now. Ideally, again, when we're using any kind of preacher bench or any kind of preacher attachment for any bit of kit at all, key fundamentals here are always going to be the same. You want to have your armpits completely sandwiched into the machine. Otherwise, you don't have a solid brace. And bracing, you will know, is massive when we're looking to build any kind of muscle and keep a good solid base. Here we go. Strangely enough, I'm actually going to need a bit more loading. Never thought I'd say that on biceps, but here we are. As you can see here, look, I'm getting a full stretch and some more. So this machine doesn't really suit my biomechanics, but we can always do little adaptations to overcome any adversity that we may have. So stay tuned and watch this. These little boys, Amazon, 16, 17 quid or something, fat grips. Now, I believe these are the 18 or 19 millimetre ones. And all I'm going to use these for here, guys, it's not for enhancing my grip or anything like that. It's literally just to bring the actual handles like 18 mil lower, basically. Should help me get a bit more of a stretch. And it should allow me to actually use this machine properly without it bottoming out before I get to a full stretch. It's all about set up with certain things like this. And as long as you have the patience and a little bit of time beforehand, you should be able to adapt any machine to suit you, basically. So now, if we sandwich our arms in here, you can see I'm actually getting almost a full stretch. There we go. Last exercise. So obviously you've just seen the preacher curl. Preacher curl challenges the bicep in a short position. Without boring you too much, that's when it's short here, up here. It's when you're getting the majority of the loading on a preacher bench. Now we're going to stick our arms behind our body, and we're going to hit the bicep in a bit more of a lengthened position, which is, we know, where the muscle is stronger. I've already touched it in its shortened position. My biceps are pretty pumped and they are pretty fatigued. It's just a case of jumping in now, get them in a lengthened position and just absolutely smashing them to smithereens before we set off on the road home. Been a very, very productive session today. I'm going to hit a little bit posing after these 3 sets of biceps, and then we're going to jump on the road. My appetite is extreme today. I'm really, really hungry. So I'm looking forward to getting my post-workout meal down the hatch. When we are setting up for a lengthened range curl, a couple of things I want you to remember here, guys, is you always have to press the safety button to get it to move. But ideally, you want it kind of aligned with your knees. So you want it aligned knee height, so that as you come down, the actual path of travel and the line of force is wanting to pull the arm back rather than down. Got the D handles on here. We got it. We're talking about doing a lengthened range bicep curl. Ideally, you want to take a few steps forward from the machine, allowing the machine to actually pull your arms back. Straighten your arms completely, take your elbow into full extension. Actually, what I like to do here is flex my triceps slightly at the bottom, and that means that obviously your arm's completely straight. From there, your upper arm stays completely static, that doesn't move, and we only hinge at the elbow. Oh, that hits a spot. Definitely hits a spot. Something I've noticed with my biceps is they've always been pretty shite. But they've started to get a little bit better since I started treating them like other muscles. And what I mean by that is, I used to just train my back and then just do a couple of sets of biceps before I left, basically. I used to just chuck them in as an afterthought. I never realised that that's what I was doing, but I was doing that. And that became apparent when my biceps weren't growing and the rest of me was. Now, it's not that I keep a bit of energy in the tank, but I do jump into my bicep sets the same as I would jump into a squat, for example. You know, I get properly focused and I really focus on the mind muscle connection. I try and keep it as strict as I possibly can, and I don't throw them in as an afterthought anymore. And now they are starting to grow, but they're still shite. So we move. I've got 2 more sets on this, then a rest pause set, and then we're going to hit a bit posing, and then we're going to bounce, guys. Yes, guys, that's a wrap. Posing is not the easiest after a session when you're 1, blowing at your arse, and 2, starving. But we move, we get the job done. Drill, 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 drill. And that's us done for today. I think I'm probably going to be a little bit light on steps, purely because I drove here and it took me an hour. So yeah, 8k, 12k is the target. We're at 4 o'clock. Time I get home, it's going to be the back of 5. And then after that, I'm probably not going to be arsed going back out. I'm just going to bounce on the treadmill and grab another 2 or 3k here. And then that leaves me just 1 or 2k for when I get home, which I should be able to box off without actively trying to box them off. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in for this pool session at Limitless in Cumbernauld. I hope you found plenty of value in the session. Hope you enjoyed watching along. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we're going to be hitting some hip hinges. Peace out, guys.